Not my first time. I was here 2 decades ago for the Institute of Theoretical Physics, but this is very exciting to be here to talk about sustainability, climate justice, and what role science can play. So I'm thrilled to be back in town. I think the really interesting point for me is that I'm a physicist, and when I started studying this area, clean energy needed lots of new science and technology. And now what we need is lots of good business and government and activist students. And so it's moved out of the technical only world to the world of society. And that, for me, as an old physicist, is new. While emissions in most European countries have gone down, they've gone down in ways that benefit Europe and hurt many of the source countries. So the raw materials come from China or the Congo. And Europe, just like the US, we don't count those emissions. And it really matters who consumes the goods, not who produces them. And so what's good for me in California, good in Italy, good in Scandinavia, is not always good life cycle. And so I think we have to recognize, just like COVID, that we're only as protected as the poorest individual, the poorest country. We are seeing emissions flat or going down a little bit, but many countries are doing stimulus packages to still recover from COVID, and the war in Ukraine and the Israeli invasion of Gaza have all made fossil fuels seem more and more just use them because there's risks out there. And so I think that one of the challenges is that every geopolitical crisis is an excuse not to make the transition and to go slow. And I think all the data we have says we should be going fast, but it's easy to find reasons not to. Countries that have a very good environmental reputation, like Norway, just open their seabed floor. Maybe it's a way to keep their oil and gas industry healthy. So I think that part of it is that we have to recognize how critical this is. And the voice of change is not one that is happily heard. We, as you know, are going to have an election, and it could go in a disastrous direction, from my view, in a planet-killing direction. And so I think that our challenge is to find that balance.